Okay, here's a couple problems from tonight's homework. This one's number 2. It's fairly straightforward. We're going to subtract 5½ minus 4 1/4. And we know we can't subtract them directly because we have different denominators. So we have to have a common denominator. So the common denominator is going to be fourths. So this one's just going to stay the same. We're going to change this. The same 1/2 is the same as 2/4. You multiply this times 2 to get that. This times 2. So now we can subtract these. 5 minus 4 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. But the denominator stays the same. The number 6 is tricky. Take a look at this. We're subtracting 25 1/8 minus 23 3/4. It would actually be easier to do this on the giant ruler in the hallway. But this is what it looks like. We had to change this to 1/8 also. But now, do you notice what's wrong with this? You can't do 1 minus 6 because you get a negative number. So you have to borrow. And this looks real confusing if you were going to borrow. But a kid came up with this idea a long time ago. We're going to borrow from 25. We're going to change that to 25 to a 24. Okay? Now, to get the fraction part of this, it's really easy. The 8 stays the same. And to get the new numerator, do this plus this. 8 plus 1. Now we can subtract it. What's 24 minus 23? It's 1. 9 minus 6 is 3. 1 3/8. There's the 6. Now 7 and 8. It says, oh, what's half of 3 1/2? Well, what's half of 3 1/2? So we want to find out what half of this is. Okay, half of 3 is 1 1/2. But we need to find out what is half of a half. And we know that half of a half is a fourth. We've done that before. So this would be the answer. So we'll change this. 1 1/2 plus 1/4. Okay, so if we just cross this out, we'll get 2/4. So 2/4 plus 1/4 is 3/4. So the answer is 1 3/4. A house painter estimated he would need 8 1/4 gallons of paint. He had 5 1/2. How much more did he need? So we have to subtract. 8 1/4 minus 5 1/2. And look at this. We can already tell we're going to need a common denominator. You know that's going to need to be 4. So how do we change that to 4? So it becomes 2/4. And look, we're going to have to borrow again. How did we borrow from this before? You take something from the whole number, and that becomes 7. So the whole number becomes 7 because we borrowed from it. We can't do 1 minus 2 or we'll get -1. So what we do is borrow from that, and our new fraction is 7 5/4. Now we can do this. 5/4 minus 2/4, which is 3/4. And 7 minus 5 is 2.